Are we live? Yeah,
We're
we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the 7th edition of Tarot Times. I can't believe we've got to 7.
I know.
Can you?
No, it doesn't seem 5 minutes as we were discussing the concept of this even, does it?
No, it doesn't. So it's amazing how fast it's gone. But welcome, everybody. I can see so many people in. I won't say hi individually because it will take too long, but hello, everybody. Yeah, it's the 7th edition of the Times. So we're going to be doing our round of different decks from different corners of Kickstarter, mass market, and independent decks. That is the order that we're going to be doing it in. Plus the fact, a little heads up for you, that a lot of companies are still doing their Black Friday deals for tarot on Etsy and Amazon and all those places. So if you want to get typing tonight, I'm good because I know what I'm like.
At the moment, indie deck reviews on Instagram, their whole stories are full of the Black Friday deals for loads of tarot decks, all things related. So have a good binge watch on their stories because there are lots of indie decks that are got some monies off. So
excellent. Am I freezing for you too? Because Dan seems to think I'm freezing.
Just a little bit. You just stick.
You might need to. It's Tinternet. It's the internet. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's glitchy today. So yeah, we're going to be starting off with our indie decks. Oh, and the other thing. No, was that before or after? No, we'll do that after.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We'll do it after. So we're kicking off with our first indie deck, which is our Simon. Do you want to say which deck you're reviewing?
Yeah. So the deck that I've been looking at that's coming out in December is actually it's a Lenormand. Well, it's billed as a Lenormand Oracle, but basically it's a Lenormand. And it's called When Life Gives You Mangoes, Lenormand Oracle. And I was quite interested to have a look at this. It's Caribbean inspired because it's by the Hurricane Mystic. And it says a Lenormand Oracle deck and guidebook from West Indian artist and deck creator, the Hurricane Mystic. This colourful deck with 36 circular cards. I've not seen a circular Lenormand before. I've seen them in Oracle and I've seen them in Tarot, but not in Lenormand. Reinvents the Lenormand system with symbolic items from Caribbean life. Hibiscus, canoe, yam fields, symbols drawn from the creator's childhood memories. A detailed booklet gives divinatory meanings for each card, as well as an overview of the Lenormand system. The cards also have a brief meaning on each one, and this is going to be available on Little Red Tarot, which is quite exciting. Now, I have seen one walkthrough of this already, which was B from Ikeli Sunflower has done a walkthrough of this quite recently. But I thought I'd just show you some of the images. That's not too bright. So that's the box. When Life Gives You Mangoes, Lenormand Oracle. And you can see that's the backs of the cards, which I think are really nice. I really like them. And here's a few of the cards as well, close up. So really unusual. And I did say to myself, I wasn't in the market for getting any more Lenormand decks because I've got about 14, 15 and I don't use them. I really don't use them. But I saw these and I saw how beautiful the artwork is and how unique they are in terms of their circular shape and everything. And I'm tempted to get it. So yeah, When Life Gives You Mangoes, Lenormand Oracle by the Hurricane Mystic is due out. There isn't a date, but Sandra's done the research, and these are decks that are due out in December.
And next up is our L.
Yes, with Tarot of Many Doors, the 3rd edition by Felix Kowitsky, and the release date is early December. That was again from Little Red Tarot. And, oh, I lost it, there it is. Tarot of Many Doors is a sci-fi themed queer anarchist deck by a non-binary trans artist, writer and performer Felix Kowitsky. I really recognise the name. Do you guys recognise?
Felix Kowitsky.
I don't know.
It says performer. I wonder if. Anyway, but because this deck is authoritarian, I can never say that word. The Queen, King, Knight, and Page cards have been replaced with Reader, Speaker, Walker, and Reverie. The suits have been renamed as follows: Pentacles are the suit of dice, Cups, potions, Swords, wires, and wands. Oh, wands is the name, wands still. And some of the major arcanas have been altered to be less stereotypically gendered or ableist, which are very exciting. And there are varied representations of bodies and gender. Oh, and it's a 79 card deck, plus one original card. It's not saying what the original card is, so maybe it's a surprise. Standard tarot size, 350 GSM cardstock, silver detailing. Doesn't seem to have a book. It's like an eight-page leaflet. And a customized 2 rigid piece box. Fun. That sounds very exciting. I need to check that out.
Oh my gosh, do you know, you're not going to believe this, you guys, but my phone it started to update. And and I can't get to my Kickstarter, and I'm on my computer, so I can't look. I'm so sorry.
It's all going to pot for Becca.
It's all going to pot for me.
Do you want me to pick yours up so you can get?
Yeah, because it was the crystal.
It's Dirt Gems.
Dirt Gems, yeah, and I'll try and get rid of this upload.
Okay.
So I can...
Don't worry. Obviously, I've not researched Becca's or got pictures to show you, but Becca was going to talk about Dirt Gems by Anne-Louise Burkitt and Chelsea Granger, and it can be pre-ordered now by going to www.thedirtgems.com. And thank you to our Jen for putting links in for all of these videos anyway. So Dirt Gems is a Plant Ally card deck. Hey, Elle's got some images to share.
Yeah, and my phone's finished updating.
Oh, do you want to pick it back up?
Yeah, if I can just... You just have to give me a chance to... No, you just carry on. You're going to have to carry on. Sorry.
That's all right. That's why there's 3 of us to help each other out.
I know, because I've got to download the thing back up.
Oh, I'm actually...
It's really nice. It reminds me of that little mini tarot deck that you get in WH Smith or something. You know the...
Yeah. The one by the...
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a Plant Ally card deck and guidebook made in collaboration by Anne-Louise Burkitt and Chelsea Granger. This deck is a mirror and a reflection of your own uniqueness. It is a calling to many selves that live within each of us that are already connected to everything. Oh, I like that kind of view on interconnectedness.
Yeah.
That are speaking to all the animate life everywhere. And we often think about, animals and ourselves and being interconnected, but plant life is life too. Dirt Gems is a concentrated channel, a way to speak to your allies, the plants, the heroes of our world, combining the elements, weather systems, alchemy, and energetic signatures. We have created a system for you to call out, listen to, and to be answered. Dirt Gems is a collaboration between two dear friends and was inspired by their love for the earth and all the medicine and healing that it holds. That's written beautifully, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to do that one, because I'm so keen on plants, and particularly to have that in a tarot deck as well. For me, it always adds an extra dimension because it connects me to something that I absolutely love. So I'm sorry that my phone decided to download an update in the middle and take all my files.
This is what happens when you're live sometimes.
I know. Of all the times, though, typical.
And you're nice and clear now as well, Becca.
Pardon?
You're nice and clear now as well. No sticking or anything.
Oh, that's great. I'm relieved that nothing else is going to go wrong for me today.
I'm so excited for this Oracle deck. I've already got it pre-ordered.
Have you?
It's been sent to our Jen's Balance Tarot. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm on it.
Wow. So next up.
Oh, it's me.
She-Wolf.
With She-Wolf. So it's kind of a half update, really. The new edition's coming out. So I've got all the editions because each time the cards change, and this is kind of my sentimental deck of what got me into tarot. It's got 2 extra cards, so that's one of the extra cards. Some of the cards are being thank you. Some of the cards are being changed because the artist Devaney was. This is the one disappointment about this deck. It's not as inclusive as it can be. There's a lot of really, thin, white-bodied femmes, and considering she calls it a feminist deck, I mean, we've got some representation here, but it's just not enough. So now I think she's changed some more of the cards. Let's see the one. This is an example of the new sun. So it's really exciting. And most of the people in this deck are activists or her friends. I know there's some other deck creators in here, like Mary Evans, who did Spirit Speak. Yeah, so that's going to be coming out, I think, December, it said.
Yeah. So when you said you've got every version, how many editions have there been so far?
There's been 3 so far.
Wow.
Each time there's been different card changes, though, so I'm not totally crazy. But...
Did you bring it with you to the tarot meetup last year? Or to Becca's?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen it.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
But
I think Sandra wanted to see it because she was tempted. I don't think she ended up liking it either.
As soon as you started showing some of the cards, I was like, yeah, I recognise this deck.
You've got a particular niche, haven't you, Elle, as far as like tarot decks that you like. So next up is me, and I can access this particular one. And this one is the Wandering Star Tarot deck. So it's a mystical, magical healing tarot deck that will assist you in knowing yourself more deeply and help sharpen your intuition. And this is an example of one of the cards. This is the High Priestess, and I really like this. I thought that was a beautiful image. I don't know if it shows up, whether you can see that. So it's by Kat Pierce, and she's the artist and author of the Wandering Star Tarot deck and guidebook. So they've done both of that. So yeah, I really like it. I can't see when the Kickstarter actually ends, but there's some more of the cards, and they are gorgeous. I think they are. I really like that. I'm very tempted to actually back this one. Isn't it? The
It's
only
very
thing,
deck.
yes. So it's going to be gorgeous. There's an owl there and everything, and there is representation in there too. So it's a unique and whimsical world where people of all colours and creeds and animals share space, peace and respect and equality. So I really like the look of that. It looks pretty fab. And yeah. Oh, actually, I can see it here. So it's got 19 days to go. So if you want to get that on Kickstarter, then you better get back in.
So yeah, just so you know, we've moved on to Kickstarter now. So we finished the mass, and now we're on
oh yeah, Kickstarter. Sorry, I thought that was obvious. It was on Kickstarter. Okay. Okay, so next is Elle
with the Bumbleberry Hollows tarot deck. This looks so cute. It's pastel animals. Just look at that.
Yes,
That's
nice.
78 cards. Let's get some more. So the miners kind of look more pippish, but still so cute. Look at all that. Oh, you get a nice box and pouch. Oh, keep going. Oh, and some nice add-ons. Stretch goals. Wait, let's go back to the cards because they're very cute. So yeah, it seems to be like it reminds me of maybe like Hello Kitty kind of card deck. All pastels. It says. Let's see what it.
It's got a bit of a look of the Animators tarot on it as well, I think.
Animators tarot. Animators tarot? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one.
Not maybe not Animators. What's it called? They do an Oracle deck as well.
Oh, Affirmators.
Affirmators, not Animators.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got a look of that about it.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it says a whimsical tarot deck from Bumbleberry Hollows, illustrated by Faith Favera. And that's got 4 days to go.
Wow.
It's well over its target, so it looks like you're going to get all the add-on goodies, which is fun.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so mass market. I've got the Crystal Oversoul cards, which is by Michael Eastwood, and the release date is the 10th of December. I'll show you a few images. So these are the cards, and they're unusual. I'm not really sure they would be my kind of aesthetic, really, but they're like mandalas, aren't they, or kind of like chakra points. So I get the association, but this deck has been designed for meditation and contemplation work. And Michael himself, he's the chair of the ACHO, which is the Affiliation of Crystal Healing. So it's a card deck and guidebook set to help you access the higher energies of the crystal oversouls and accelerate the awakening process. The earth is undergoing an immense initiation, part of a great turning within the ever-evolving and unfolding cosmos. The initiation involves not only humanity, but all living creatures, and also the elemental kingdoms, including crystal oversouls. It contains 66 beautiful color mandala cards for contemplation, meditation, and connecting with the ancient crystal oversouls. The accompanying guidebook provides insights into the meaning of the crystals, including their spiritual and metaphysical properties, associated scents, and their connections to the chakra system, as well as the emerging higher chakras. It includes in-depth meditations, visualizations that you can do, and helps readers to deepen their relationship with the crystal kingdom. And it offers access to 22 downloadable crystal meditation recordings as well. So It's got quite a lot in the kit. And yeah, if you're into crystal healing, crystal energy, chakra work, as well as meditation, contemplation, and using mandalas for that, then I would imagine it will be a popular deck.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not. Doesn't float my boat, but I can see it's got there'll be a niche
neat
for it. Yeah, a niche. So what was that? That was, I didn't have one of the mass markets, did I?
Yes, you did. You've got Mystic Mondays.
Oh God, do you know what? I'm going to be upfront with you folks. Something flustered me just before I came on, and it took up most of my time when I would have normally been prepping for this. So you'll have to excuse me. I was in a little bit of a stew. So this is it's a re-release of the original deck, or is it a back in stock? I can't remember, because the Mystic Mondays Tarot has been out for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think this is different though. I think it's because I don't think it was the Mystic Mondays by Grace Dion.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it like an oracle cousin?
Yeah.
So it is the same.
No.
But it's by the same creator.
Yeah.
Outside.
Okay, right. Okay, because I'd got the Instagram post up for it. Interestingly enough, it doesn't say anything on their Instagram page about the new version, which I thought was quite interesting. They've got the crystal grid. That's the one, isn't it? Okay, so there's the picture of the Instagram page with some of the images on. So it's a crystal grid. It's a new release in divination with crystals. It is on Amazon. There is so you still time to get it on pre-order in time for 2021. So it is basically I'm not sure what this shape is, hexagonal, or what is it, hexagon or
hexagon.
Hexagon or whatever. So it's a little bit different in shape, and each card has a different crystal on it. So yeah, that's all I can say about that one, really.
Yeah.
So it's by the same people that did obviously the Mystic Mondays, the one. There was quite a lot of hype about the Mystic Mondays deck when it came out. Haven't heard quite so much about this one. So it says it turns your wounds into wisdom, which I quite like that quote, which I thought was lovely. Turns your wounds into wisdom.
Lovely.
Fab. So some exciting decks coming out in December then.
There is.
Yeah, quite a lot of renewals of decks as well, which is wait. Tarot of the Crone. Guys, the indie Tarot of the Crone for a limited time. I think there's 250 copies on what's the artist's name? Ellen Lorenzi Prints is doing 250 copies of the Black Tarot of the Crone. So this one with the booklet but without the box this time, but I think it's going to come in a bag. I think it's $55 maybe. But yeah, being sold on her website, and there's only 250 copies. So, and this normally now I see selling for hundreds. So if you want it, go get it.
Yeah, because that's been a lot of people have sought after that. How is that? Is that the one you had like about 6 copies of?
I've got another edition of it. I bought, because I heard it was going out of print, so I thought, right, here we go. I bought another copy, I think, to keep for trades. So yeah, 3 copies at one point.
Yeah.
But it got me slow holler, so can't complain.
Well, there, yeah. So it's worth stocking up sometimes. It's like it's currency for us tarot people, isn't it? Yeah.
Beat the
You get on
capitalists at their own game.
Yeah, get on the swap sites and dangle something precious in front of people and they come flocking.
Oh yeah.
Right, so that kind of wraps up our look at our indie Kickstarters and mass markets. So we next move into reviewing our deck.
Yeah.
In a way. Right,
Which is the Witch's Wisdom.
Woohoo!
Who's gonna go first? Oh, I don't know what I've done with my bag.
Oh, I love my bag.
My bag will be on the inside. Oh no, where is the bag?
Uh-oh.
We're in trouble. That's because my cards are out in this. I have my cards in the stand, so I put the bag somewhere. Probably
Here's the bag.
with all my other bags. Yeah, it's lovely.
It is. So who's going to kick this off then?
So I can if you want. So firstly, we always do our favourite cards and our least favourite cards. So I will show my favourite cards. Make sure I'm pressing the right one. So there's so many favourite cards. I could have probably just got the deck and said, here you go. But I think the artwork in this deck is absolutely beautiful. I love that it's very nature based because it's a pagan deck, it's Witch's Wisdom. There's so many beautiful animals and creatures depicted, lots of nature scenes. I love these standing stones, bears, and this scene the scene depicted in this card is one of my favorites in the whole deck. It is just absolutely stunning. I love it. I love the goddesses that are in here. There's lots of great goddesses. Look at this for the Pilgrim, the card 0. So many nature scenes. I love this with the Northern Lights. So these are my favorite. This is, I was saying to Ellen Becker earlier, this is one of my favorite cards. Just really, really gorgeous. The Green Man, look, depicted within the leaves and foliage.
I never noticed that.
Didn't you?
That's one of my favourite cards. I never even noticed that.
This one is the world card, but is card number 1. Because we'll explain more about that later. And I just think it's absolutely wonderful. And I love the love card with her familiar. Just absolutely beautiful. So they're my favorites. In terms of my least favorites, and it's the first time in 7 episodes of doing the Tarot Times, I don't have any. I cannot find a card in this deck that I think I'm not keen on that. I love them all, but these are my favorites out of the deck.
I've got 2 that are the same as yours, and I thought that would be obvious because the fox on there. I just love that expression on their faces. They're really kind of connecting in that picture. I also got the standing stones because this just reminds me of like something that you could actually create something similar in your own garden, you know, because it's got honeysuckle there and trees, and it actually looks like somebody's garden. So you could create that, I think. So I love that. I also love, I was like you, I could have just like shown the whole deck. I think the star card is beautiful. I love how the water is drawn in that, and there's a kingfisher just there, you can see, and the stars and the moon in the background. And then I love the goddess of fire because it shows crone. So there's age diversity in it, which I really like. And I just love the way she's just sat there with a pestle and mortar there and a cauldron. I really love that picture. And I also like the Ten of Fire because I love the way these candles are lighting up the trees, which are quite bare in the background, but this candlelight is there. I said to Simon and Elle before we why am I still on? Oh, that's it. Before we did this, that I haven't got any cards that I don't like. Simon said find one. Well, find one, he said, and then he turns up, he says he hasn't got one. So I suppose in terms of my least favorite, it's only because the artwork is not as lush as maybe some of the others, and that is the Six of Earth. But again, I love it because you've got a creature's depicted in this rock. Or I wondered if it is actually a rock at one point. Do you see that?
Yeah.
But so that was the only one out of the entire deck that I was kind of like, well, it's not as pretty, but that's the only reason.
Well, when I said find one, I was kind of shot down for that. So, and I said, if I had to find one, I mentioned this one, didn't I? I said that would be the only one. But because I was finding one, I didn't mention
I know it. I was just like really nitpicky with that one. I went through and thought, oh, I love that one, and then I love that one, and then I can't. So that just because.
Yeah.
But I don't really dislike it.
No.
So cards I like. I love this star card. Becca has it too. I think it's one of my favorite star cards. Look at her, she's so cute. This is that one. I really love all the nature cards in this deck that's just purely like flowers, or I can't believe I did not see that face the entire time in that card. Just all the nature ones are so lush, and with the animals. It reminds me of like Britain in the summertime. Like, it's just so, I love this card, all the lush apples and stuff, and the little froggies. Yeah, so all the naturey cards and the animal cards I love.
Yeah.
I'd say there's not really particular cards that I don't like, but I'd say the ones with humans in, I find myself, I'm not like as in love with them, because I just really love the nature in this deck. I just want that to be the focal point, and the animals. But I guess if I had to choose a card, it's not that I dislike it, it just reminds me of something else. Can you guess what, when I hold this card up? If you've seen the film Midsommar.
Oh
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
It takes me out the fantasy now.
Yeah,
so
that poor guy stitched in a bear suit.
So if anyone's seen that film, yeah.
I hadn't noticed that.
Every time I see that card now.
I know. Thanks for that. I've never noticed that.
Says Jen.
Wow. But that is true, yeah. But I hadn't noticed that. But yeah, this poor guy gets stitched into a freshly killed bear, doesn't he? And then
that we see that's captive all the way through the film, and you think, oh, that's nice. They're keeping a little pet bear.
Yeah, why have they got a bear in a cage? Oh.
Oh, sorry, I've ruined it for people. Well, that's payback for ruining This Might Hurt 3 of Cups with the 2 left feet. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although I've just ruined it for whoever didn't know that and is watching this now. So sorry.
You like to spot these little things, don't you? And then share your knowledge with us.
Oh, of course.
So the 10 categories then. We're going to start the 10 categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who's going first?
You go for it.
Yeah, because we've gone round in a circle that way.
You shout out the list. We'll give you the.
All right then. So number 1 out of 10 is the box and packaging. So this is the box that we've all got. It's okay actually for Hay House, where they used to do more compact boxes and give you a smaller book. It's quite nice. It's not as sturdy as some other boxes like the Llewellyn magnet closure boxes, but the presentation is beautiful. Really, really nice. I love the gold insert, the inlay. It comes out, so you don't have to keep it in that if you don't want. Beautiful poetry printed on the inside. So the box and packaging, I gave 4 out of 5.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to find my pen. I've dropped it on the floor now. I'm all overdue.
What do you need a pen for?
For when we have to write.
Scores, dear, scores.
Oh, you're right. Oh, eager beaver.
Well,
box and packaging.
box and packaging, Elle.
Me? Oh, yeah, pretty decent for mass market. Even came with a little bag, which I thought was very cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. Has any other mass market done that before?
I'm not aware of that.
No.
So that was really great, and considering the price, or we'll get into that later. But yeah, it was really cool, and you get nice book and stuff. Nice, yeah. Give it 4 out of 5.
2 4s. Wow.
Well, I like we just said, I'm not aware of a deck that you purchased on Amazon that comes with a bag, and it's not just a crappy bag. It's a really nice quality sturdy tarot bag. So it's not just like a little mesh thing that sometimes you get. It's a really nice bag. So, and the box as well, I couldn't find fault with the box at all. I think it's really lovely decoration inside. There's, you know, the cards don't, if you put them in there without the bag, there's nowhere for them to slip. It's magnetic again, which for Hay House is a really nice touch, because they don't normally come in boxes as nice as that. So it's hard push for me not to give it a 5.
Cool. Yeah. Ellie in the chat said that the Tarot de Marseille weight comes with a little bag, and there's a few where they come with what you just described as like the mesh bags, but bags of that quality, proper cloth bags with printing design on them, you know, I've not come across that before. Because even like the Centennial, which you can get off Amazon, the kit comes in a mesh bag with it as well. So yeah, brilliant. So the next is the book. So The Witches Wisdom Guidebook. I really like this book. I love the cover. It's got like a very heavy linen type feel to it. It's very flexible. And I just think it's written beautifully. It's almost written like poetry. It's just the wording in it is great. And then again, we were talking earlier, and I think a few of us would have liked a little bit more. But for me, there's enough. There's the wisdom of the card, because this is the Witcher's Wisdom deck. Then you get the essence of the card, which gives you your keywords. Then you get a council, and then you get the magic to work with. And that's just, just for the miners, you get it all again. So what I mean by that is sometimes when you get a guidebook, they skimp a little bit on the miners and you get more information for the majors. They don't do that with this deck. It is consistent all the way through. And they rarely value the miners in this deck, because it comes first. The majors come after the miners in the book. So for me, I really like it. I don't want it to be too exhaustive, but it's just enough for a deck where I'm learning kind of a new, not so much a new system, but a new organized structure to a system. The book was perfect, and I give it another 4.
I'm not gonna lie, this book, maybe it was wrong of me to. So when I first got the deck, I was like, right, let's try this bad boy out. So I was on a call with our Jen's Balanced Tarot. I was like, Mum, let me do a reading for you. And I was getting well annoyed with the book. It's really lovely in how the stories, how it's written. I find it's not very practical in terms of using it alongside. You really have to read and study before just jumping straight in to a reading, because I feel like as you're reading it, the story's not providing you the practical direction of where to take the cards in terms of for a reading. It does come with essence, so a few keywords, that's all right. And I guess the council, it gives you a little brief summary of where you can take that card. But I found as I was reading it to try and do reading on the fly, it was a very pretty story, but it weren't providing me any meat of what I can do with that story in a reading. So, but I did really love, there's under each one, there's like a little magic, what do they call it? Just magic that you can do. So like lighting a candle, a spell, or something practical that you can do. So that was really fun. But in terms of being able to pick it up and use in a practical sense, it wasn't as great of a guidebook. It's a good study book, or a book that provides context to the cards, not something that you can perhaps utilize on the fly. So I give it a 3.
A 3? Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite generous for you, I think. So because very often when you've gone with 2s and even 1s sometimes. So when you said you weren't impressed with the book, I thought, well, she's going to mark it way down. So I was pleased you gave it a 3.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. I mean, the quality of it again is really nice. It's you've got this nice, like, semi-hard linen type cover. I really like the way it splits the cards up into 3 parts in the book. So wisdom, the essence of the card, which is just the keywords, the council, and then the magic at the bottom, which, a lot of the magic bits at the bottom are really nice. So they talk about taking a walk, and just doing almost little things for yourself, which I really like. And it does go into a lot of detail at the beginning. too about why the cards are laid out differently. As you know, I really like the book. I would have liked just maybe, and now this is just because I'm just nitpicking, maybe just a little bit more in terms of just the meaning, rather that you go through like the story part of it, and then maybe just a little bit more about how that would appear in a reading. But having said that, I think for me, you've got all the elements there. If you already know the RWS system, then I mean, I've just read it like I would any other RWS, and this just adds to it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I really like the book, so I'll give it 4.5 out of 5.
Wow,
brilliant. So third element is representation, and there's a couple of things I want to say about the representation, because this deck is called the Witcher's Wisdom, and very often when I buy decks that are witchy decks, the male element is very often lacking for me, and we all talk about wanting to see ourselves in tarot, but this deck does representation pretty well. You have got people of different skin tones, you've got different body sizes and shapes, which I like. I like the fact that it recognizes that witches exist in different cultures as well, and in different parts of the world. So the diversity is quite nice. But like I say, there's lots of celebrations around male witches as well, which I really, really appreciated seeing. So there's quite a good balance between when it comes to gender. I mean, the deck in the main, probably about 80% of the deck anyway, is nature-based, animals, plants, and landscapes. So we don't, but that was just to represent somebody of being older as well. It's got different ages in there, and as I say, different cultures being represented. So yeah, but I like to see the crones in the deck as well. So obviously, well, I say obviously, no obviously about it, but there are some aspects of diversity that's left out, such as disability, and I don't necessarily see any people who are non-binary or sexual orientations necessarily, different sexual orientations being represented. But on the whole, I think it does a pretty good job. So I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it does give reference to. It's really good for age representation, which a lot of tarot decks seem to skip out in terms of age. I find there's not many tarot decks that reference older people. From what I find, it's very gender stereotypical in terms of women nursing children and being like the gatherers, and and men the hunters and whatnot. And I must admit, I was trying to read the book because there's a lot of people in this deck that it's obvious they're pulling references from different cultures. So I was trying to read in the book, where they're getting their sources and references from. It doesn't say at all. So I honestly don't know if the depictions in this deck of the cultures are completely correct, if they're if it's culturally appreciating or if it's bordering on appropriation. I don't know, because it's not said where the references are being pulled from. So by looking, it looks like it's got some diversity, but whether it's being done properly, I can't really say much to that. I should have really looked more and studied into the images more so I could give a proper answer. But just looking, I would say, yeah, it's got diverse people in. It seems to depict stuff from different cultures. Yeah, I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was, like, the majority of it is animal and nature based, and I felt that what else was represented in there, they did a you know, a good job. Yeah, so, you know, I would give it a 4 maybe for that.
Yeah, and I think Hay House is coming on, because Hay House has been notorious in the past for.
Oh, this is Hay House.
This is
Yeah.
Hay House published that, which is, you know, in the past they have been criticised, and rightly so, about lack of representation, but also appropriation when they have tried to do it. So I don't know. Maybe this is a step in the right direction, but certainly better.
Yeah, I'll have to do more research.
You mean you've had it all this time and you didn't realise it was from Hay House? You know, I said about the magnetic box, I said a while ago, which is a nice step up for Hay House. I said.
Went right over my head.
Aye, never mind.
Okay, so art style. I mean, we've shown a lot of the cards anyway. I think the art is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Some of the images are, and if you saw when I did a walkthrough of this, you know, I was oohing and ahhing. I think it's just phenomenal in terms of art. I love it, and I can't say enough about it. So I had to give it a 5 out of 5 for art.
Yeah, the artwork is so pretty, and so colourful. Yeah, I really love it. I've not got anything in my collection that has artwork like this. Yeah, I'd give it a 4. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's, the artwork is right up my alley. I adore it. I absolutely love it. I just think it's stunning, and I can't fault it, because yeah, I love it. So it's a 5 from me.
Cool. Readability. Readability. I'm going this. When I first saw it, and I remember speaking to Becca, because you got yours a few days before I got mine, I was like, oh, this is going to take some work, you know, because of the reversing of the majors. I don't have any issue at all with working with earth, air, because as I said when I did the walkthrough, my brain does that anyway. If I pull wands, I think fire. So that didn't bother me. In terms of readability, I can read it really well, because they didn't affect me the way I thought they would. Because as I explained in a more recent video, when you lay cards out in a spread and you're laying your 3 cards, you're looking at the image in the title, and unless you're working with a pip deck, perhaps where you need the number to assist you, it didn't really jar with me at all like I thought it would. The images, that, you know, these are scenes that are being depicted, and therefore they're really easy. I pulled that when I did a live for the 8 of fire, the 8 of wands, And yeah, it's a very different scene to what I'm used to seeing with the 8 wands flying through the air, but I was still able to read it very intuitively. So in terms of readability, I gave it a 4.
Yeah, see, it weirdly jarred me. I think, I don't know why, because like when you look at the images by themselves, they do speak to me, but in a reading, I think it just really threw me off. I think probably because I only did like 3 cards at the most for myself, but then, you know, threw myself in the deep end for a reading for someone else with like 3, 4 cards, 5 cards. And I think, you know, not knowing the deck very well at that time, it did throw me off a bit, because the artwork, it's just such a different depiction. Once you read the description, it kind of makes you think, oh, okay, I see where they're going, and I appreciate it. But I think it depends how you get to know a tarot deck. I think the way I went about learning this tarot deck, I didn't give it the time it needs. I feel like this is a deck I have to look at read the book first before I use it. So I guess in that sense, for readability, I'd say maybe 2.5. You've got to really study it. I feel you can't just on the fly use it. Well, for me personally, anyway. So I'd give it a 2.5. But once you've studied it, then it's fabulous.
So I didn't have any problem with it at all, because I know the Rider-Waite system. So right off the bat, you pull the card, you know what the RWS meaning is. So you've got that element of the reading, and then to be able to build on top of that by looking at the image and then adding to that. I didn't take any any notice at all about the rearranging of, because that just doesn't figure when you shuffle the cards and pull them out. I mean, it's not something I would ever notice about the deck. And somebody made an interesting comment to me recently about when we say, how does a deck read? And they said, actually, it's not the deck that reads, it's the reader that reads. And I thought that was quite an interesting comment. I mean, I can work with it beautifully. I can use the RWS meanings. I can also draw out of what my intuition says about the image. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Cool. Brilliant. Point 6 is individuality and uniqueness. I think we're more or less covered the fact that it's really unique in as much as the system it is. I loved the concept of the more traditional tarot taking you from the world to a point of, you know, whether it's heaven or, you know, advancing upwards, whereas this takes you out and then down to the world, you know, connecting with the world, the earth, nature, and everything else. That's why it does it in reverse. So for that reason, it's quite an individual deck, and that gives it its uniqueness. So if I'm scoring something on it being individual and unique, then I have to give it a 5 for what it is.
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't have anything like this in my collection. It's very much its own system in a way, its own take. Artworks really gorgeous. I can't think. Yeah, I can't think of another deck that comes close to it. So yeah, I'd give it a 4 for uniqueness. It's like offers a whole new tarot experience, which is, you know, what I want to bring into my collection. a deck that offers me a completely new experience, because otherwise in my brain I'm like, what's the point of having, you know, loads of decks that just give me the same? So yeah, this is really cool, really unique.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah, 5 again for me. Yeah, it's just like you say, it's just that I love the way that it mentioned about drawing you down rather than being like in the lofty areas. You're here down on the earth, in the soil, and with the people and in the elements. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that lovely pagan element, isn't it? You know, that one with nature and the environment. 7 is cardstock. I think this cardstock is great. It's nice and thick cardstock. It is matte. It feels lovely. I give this a 4. It's not, for me, cardstock to get a 5, it'd have to be like New Choice Tarot de Marseille or something like that. But this is a close second to that. It feels lovely. It shuffles amazing if you're an overhand shuffler like I am. And yeah, it's just nice and sturdy. It's really good.
Yeah, I've never felt cardstock like this before. Have you ever felt cardstock like this?
I think so, yeah. More so in Oracle, and that's why it's typical of Hay House, isn't it, with their new kind of matte stock for their Oracle decks.
So this is the first time I've had cardstock like this. It feels so sturdy and durable. Not sure how it will hold up to being edged. I'll have to give that a test run. It's nice and thick. Riffle shuffles like a dream. Yeah, I'd give it a 4. It's really different, but I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that it's matte and borderless. It doesn't feel cardboardy, which sometimes Hay House decks can feel like cardboard. This feels nothing like that. It feels like proper tarot cardstock. It's really, really lovely, smooth, silky texture. It's not the same as Tarot de Marseille. That's like different. It doesn't make it any. It's different. I like it just as much in a different way. So I'm going to give it 5 again. I like it. If I would have this stock out of choice if I could.
Yeah. I can't tell what it feels like. It feels really different, but really nice.
It's smooth. And the sniff test.
A bit like Shadowlands. Reminds me a bit like the Shadowlands cardstock. Yeah.
This one feels more smooth or like buttery, whereas that one feels more like dry, smooth. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
But have you noticed this whiffs
silky?
Like this wafts some like licorice.
Mine has got that.
No, mine hasn't either. Mine smells lush.
Yeah, it just smells like normal card to me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you've got a dud.
Smells like licorice.
Mine really honestly smells like licorice. But yeah, maybe I've got a funny one.
You had a white line on yours as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has experienced. On like a few of the cards, there's a white line at the bottom, and then which on the other side, I don't know if you can tell, it kind of comes back up on the image. So maybe I've just got a weird licorice smelling dud, but yeah, like it really wafts when I'm shuffling it. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but
oh wow,
it's an experience.
So backs is number 8. These are the backs, which is the same design that is printed onto the back.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's reversible, the design. I love the dark sort of midnight blue color in the background with the orangey gold, with like a flower with a 4-pointed star and the beautiful kind of I don't know if it's Ivy, but it's really simple and really nice. So I give the backs a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I really prefer simple backs, so this is really lush. From afar, I'm not as much of a fan of it, but when I look up close, I see the colours are more like watercolory and blends of different tones of the colour. When I see that, I like it more. But yeah, I mean, it does the job. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It does the job lovely.
Points.
I really like it. I love the midnight blue. I think I love tarot decks with like a darker background, and it makes the central image, the gold and the flower, really pop out. Actually, when you lay them down, and if you lay them face down and it's dimly lit, it almost looks like this is the only part of the image, makes you look like you've got a row of these shapes because you can't see the background. So I'm going to give these backs 4.5 out of 5. Like them.
Cool. Number 9 is the price point, value for money. I give it a 5 out of 5. This deck, this quality, with the packaging, the bag, the quality of the cards, the beautiful artwork, the book, everything for £22, which is what I paid for it for, is brilliant. So in terms of value for money, I don't think I've ever had such value for money in a tarot deck. To get all of that for £22, bang on, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I paid 17 at the time. So for 17 quid, yeah, really, I'm really impressed with the box, to be honest. Out of a lot of the normal big chunky magnetic boxes, that one doesn't feel as clunky and thick. The bag, that's a really cool extra touch. I mean, it's no Shane bag, but and then yeah, the deck is really great quality. At the moment it's £23. Normally it says it's 31, but for those prices I'd still say it's worth it. So yeah, I'd give it a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's, for that price, it's just quality. I mean, you get all that beautiful quality box, quality bag, quality book. I mean, sometimes you'd pay 22 quid for a tuck box,
Yeah,
and some cards,
and a little white
so 5, yeah, and a little white pamphlet. So 5 out of 5 for me again, folks.
I was laughing because Elle was like so complimentary about it, and I was like, this is going to be her first 5, and she's like,
yeah, 5.
You said 4. I'm like, when are you ever going to give a 5?
Oh my god, I apologize. This has got to be my first 5. I'm just so used to being stingy. Yeah, 5.
I was like, what does the deck have to do to get a 5?
What about 4.9? Because you know, there's always room for improvement.
Oh, that was funny. And then the last one, number 10, is the overall wow factor. What do we think? So for me, every time I do this last one, I look at the wow factor. I have to look at what I've scored it all the way through. And there are 6 4s and 3 5s. So I will give this a 4 out of 5 for wow factor.
It's really unique, really nice card stock. I always find this one hard because I don't know if I'm being fair by comparing it with like indie decks. So I always, think of decks like Dust to Onyx, and is that fair, or is it apples to oranges? But for wow factor, for a mass market deck and the price point, considering everything, I'd give it a 4. It's really unique, really different. Yeah, give it a 4.
I think when we compare mass with indie, it does make it unfair because you have to look at what would Dust Onyx be like if it was picked up by a major publisher like Lightseers? You know, if you look at Hay House's Lightseers compared to buying the Lightseers as an indie version, there's big differences there. So,
and price point totally different as well.
Yeah, I need to let Becca back in. I think we lost.
Yeah, let me back in.
So your wow factor overall?
We're on to the wow factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. 5.
5. Brilliant. So our scores out of 10. So we do the 10-point categories where we give them ratings out of 5 stars, and then we do an overall what we score it out of 10. So this deck is our score out of 30, if you like. So are we ready to reveal?
I need a pen and paper. Hold on.
I haven't got a pen, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with my fingers, but I can do it.
Okay.
Steady on.
We could do that in future, use our fingers, but fingers were invented first. Are you ready, Elle?
Yeah. Oh, what, have you already written it down?
I did it this afternoon when I prepped.
Okay. Oh, has Becca done it as well?
She's doing her fingers.
Oh, this is really hard.
This is why you can.
I've got my points in there.
Oh no, that makes.
Oh, fine. We won't do a point. I'll be.
If you want a point, you can have a point.
Oh, okay. Then I'm keeping my point.
Right, are we ready? Out of 10. 3, 2, 1. 10, 19, 26.5 out of 30. I think that's our highest score yet on any deck that we've reviewed. So the sad news is it scored over 15, which means we won't be giving any away because we've all scored our own decks above 5. So I want to keep mine. Do you want to keep yours, Elle?
Oh yeah, this is wonderful news. We're all keeping decks. So that's terrible news.
Not letting this go.
First, because it happened last time with Tower of the Divine. We all kept Tower of the Divine as well.
Yeah, so no giveaway.
So we do a giveaway if one of us scores our deck below 5 because it's less than half and we don't want to keep it. So sorry guys, but we'll do another giveaway soon, I am sure. So Becca, do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, so we were planning on our next Tarot Times, but it actually falls on Boxing Day, which we're all tied up with different things. So that is like a no-no. So we are next meeting for our Tarot Times on the 2nd of January. Same time, same place. It's 9 o'clock on the 2nd of January. And we're going to be reviewing the mass market edition of the Dark Goddess Tarot.
Yeah. So 6 o'clock though.
6 o'clock. 6. I go on at 9 o'clock. Tarot Times goes on at 6 o'clock.
Sneaking in a plug.
And for those people who are outside of the UK and you're probably thinking, what's Boxing Day? Boxing Day is an extra bank holiday that we get the day after Christmas Day, and it's treated on the same sort of level as Christmas Day, other than you don't share presents. So it's another sort of day where you eat lots of food and get drunk and spend time with family members. So I'm away Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. So we're just pushing it back a week, basically.
Yeah. So it'll be normal tarot times, 2nd of January. We'll all be a few pounds heavier, but still be the same.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for watching. It's been great to see so many people here. Thanks for everybody to joining in with the chat, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.